Welcome. Subscribe my channel Learning with me and press the bell icon to get notifications. Today we will discuss about stoichiometry. What do you mean by stoichiometry? In chemistry, whenever there is a chemical reactions means there is some reactants always gives product. Reactants give rise to products, but they react with each other in a particular ratio to form their product also in a ratio. So the reactants taken part in the chemical reactions and the products so formed are in a simple ratio. So and that ratio is called the stoichiometry ratio, and the phenomenon is called stoichiometry. So the phenomenon is called stoichiometry. Suppose, as for example, 2A reacts with 3B to produce A2B3. Suppose a reactant A reacts with B to produce A2B3. A2B3. So, first of all, A reacts with B to produce A2B3. A is the reactants and B is the another reactants. So, they react with each other to produce A2B3. First of all, we have to know balance the equation. For balancing the equation, 2 is multiplied here and 3, so 2A plus 3B give rise to A2B3, where 2 is the coefficient of A and B is the coefficient of 3 and A2B3 coefficient is 1 only, and the ratio is equal to 2:3:1. This is the stoichiometric ratio. This ratio is called the stoichiometric ratio. We will take some examples and problems on this chapter to discuss it in details. Take one example, one problem. Methane undergoes combustion in sufficient air. If 8 gram of methane is burnt, what is the amount of carbon dioxide formed in the reaction? This is the question. Methane undergoes combustion in sufficient air, and if 8 gram of methane is burnt, what is the amount of carbon dioxide formed in the reaction? So, first of all, methane reacts. So, methane, its chemical formula is CH4, reacts with sufficient air, that means reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water, CO2 plus H2O, carbon dioxide and water. So as to balance this equation, if we multiply 2, then oxygen 4, hydrogen will be 4, H2 4 and carbon and then it is balanced. So first of all, to solve a problem on stoichiometry, the first step is to balance the chemical equations. First, CH4 reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. Then we have to balance CH4 plus 2O2 gives CO2 plus 2H2O. But here given the methane reacts if 8 gram of methane is burnt, that means volume of methane is here given 8 gram of methane is burnt in oxygen to produce carbon dioxide gas and carbon dioxide gas. We have to find out what is the amount of carbon dioxide formed in the reaction. So this is the question tag. So that first take, let the amount of carbon dioxide formed let the amount of carbon dioxide formed equal to X gram. So first again write down the equation CH4 plus 2O2 after balancing it gives CO2 plus 2H2O. So what is the first, it is methane. What is its molecular mass? Molecular mass of CH4 is carbon molecular mass 12 plus hydrogen molecular mass 1. So here the molecular mass will be equal to carbon molecular mass 12 plus hydrogen molecular mass 1. There are 4 hydrogen, so 4 into 1, that's equal to 16 is its molecular mass. Similarly, carbon dioxide molecular mass, carbon molecular mass 12 plus oxygen molecular mass 16. There are 2 atoms, so 2 into 16 equal to, so 12 plus 2 into 16 32 equal to 44. So the molecular mass of methane is 16 and the molecular mass of carbon dioxide is 44. So it's what is its molar mass? So molar mass, that means molecular mass expressed in grams. So molar mass will be equal to 16 gram and the molar mass of carbon dioxide equal to 44 gram. Molar mass of methane is 16 gram and carbon dioxide is 44 gram. So that 16 gram of methane produces 44 gram of oxygen, carbon dioxide. 16 gram of methane produces 44 gram of carbon dioxide. So 8 gram of methane will produce how many gram of carbon dioxide? But we have taken let the amount of carbon dioxide produced equal to X, so that the 8 gram will produce, let it to X gram. So by ratio and proportion method, by ratio and proportion 16 gram produces 44 gram, 8 gram produces X gram, that is 16 by 8 equal to 44 by X. 44 by X. So then by cross multiplication 16 into x equal to 44 into 8. 16 into x equal to 44 into 8. So that x equal to 44 into 8 divided by 16. 8 1 ja, 8 2 ja 16, then 2, it is 22. So it will produce 22 gram of carbon dioxide. So it will produce 22 gram of carbon dioxide gas. Let's take another problem. Calculate the volume of problem number 2. Calculate the volume of HCl gas formed. HCl gas formed. Calculate the volume of HCl gas formed and chlorine gas required, and chlorine gas required when 40 ml of 40 ml of methane, when 40 ml of methane completely burnt, ml of methane is completely burnt. The question is, calculate the volume of HCl gas formed and chlorine gas required when 40 ml of methane completely burnt. So methane is completely burnt. So methane is completely burnt with chlorine. That means, so first of all, methane reacts with chlorine, so that CH4 plus Cl2, chlorine, it produces CH2Cl2 plus HCl. The equation will be CH4 plus methane reacts with chlorine to produce CH2Cl2 plus HCl. But this is not in balance condition, so we have to balance this. So to balance this, chlorine product side 2 1 3, but in this side only 2. So as to balance this, so multiplying 2 and multiplying 2 here, it is balanced. Hydrogen 4, that side also 4, and chlorine 2 into 2 4, and chlorine this side also 2, plus 2 into 1 2, so 2 plus 2 4, and carbon both side is 1. So that now the equation is balanced, and now we can solve the problem after balancing the chemical equations. Then the question is, find out the volume of, or calculate the volume of HCl gas formed. HCl gas formed. Now applying another tricks, we can also solve it, because methane, it is the volume of methane here, 1 volume, that is 1 mole, reacts with chlorine 2 volume, and it produces hydrochloric acid is 2 volume. So methane, 1 volume of methane reacts with 2 volume of chlorine to produce 2 volume of hydrochloric acid. or 1 mole of methane reacts with 2 mole of chlorine to produce 2 mole of hydrochloric acid. But the question given here, 40 ml of methane reacts. So the volume is 40 ml. Reacts with chlorine. We have to find out the volume of HCl gas formed. Let the volume equal to, it produces AXML. So 40 ml produces AXML. 1 volume produces 2 volume. 40 ml will produce how many? So by ratio and proportion method, so 1 by 40 equal to 2 by x, implies x equal to, by cross multiplication, x into 1 equal to 2 into 40, so that it would produce 80 ml. So that it will produce 80 ml of hydrochloric acid. But again another question is also that calculate the volume of, question is calculate the volume of HCl gas formed and chlorine gas required when 40 ml of methane completely bond with chlorine. So CH4 plus Cl2, this is the equation. We have to again find out the volume of chlorine formed. Similarly, 1 volume of methane reacts with 2 volume, but here volume of methane is 40 ml. Let it produces Y ml of chlorine. So similarly, by ratio and proportion, 1 by 40 equal to 2 by Y, implies Y equal to 2 into 40 equal to 80 ml. This is another example.